right, we're going to go ahead and call this meeting to order. Will you please rise and join me in the pledge to our flag? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, let the record show that all board members are present and accounted for. At this point, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the agenda.
So moved.
Second.
It's been moved and second. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. We will now move on to communications, and we'll start with, let's see, we'll start here with public comment. Members of the public may address the board regarding items within the board's jurisdiction that are not on the agenda at this time. Members wishing to address the board are allotted 2 minutes per speaker. Please note that the speaking time cannot be delegated to another person. Members should indicate the agenda items or topics on which they plan to speak when beginning their comments. It is important to remember that board rules and California law prohibit board members from discussing comments or attempting to answer questions posed by a speaker during public comment time. If necessary, the superintendent will request district staff to follow up with speakers. All members who wish to speak in person should complete the speaker's card and submit it to the board assistant. To submit a comment online, you should do so via Assembly Gamut meetings and in the live chat on YouTube. The board assistant will provide your comment to the board as appropriate. With that, is there anyone who would like to address the board on an item that is not on the agenda? Okay, we have several speaker cards here. All right, we're going to start with Rigo Tovar.
This one, that's part of the items we want to talk about here.
Hi.
I believe I have some handouts.
Yeah. We're sharing them, we're passing them out right now.
All right, great. Hi, good afternoon. My name is Rigo. I am the program associate at the Sacramento Literacy Foundation. I work with your schools to deliver our book giveaway program. That's where we give every TK through second grade student a bag with 5 brand new culturally relevant books. This past fall, we partnered with United Way to give over 2,880 new culturally relevant books to 576 of your TK through second grade students. We want to continue to support Robla with our culturally relevant book giveaway program in the coming years.
It's for our online audience.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Our culturally relevant book giveaway program has helped us build relationships with principals and teachers at all 5 of your school sites, all of which are very passionate to get their students to grade level reading. During our book giveaway at Bell Elementary, a teacher shared a story about one of your second grade students, and I'd like to share that story with you today. This young girl ran over to her teacher after picking out one of her new books, The Proudest Blue. She pointed to the image on the cover. It was a young girl that looked just like her, with a hijab wrapped around her head. She shared with her teacher, "I never get to see people like me in books." Stories like these are why I'm passionate about the work that we do at the Sacramento Literacy Foundation. We want every kid to see themselves in their bag of books so that they can see themselves as the protagonists of their own stories. By having kids see themselves, we are increasing the likelihood that your students will be interested in reading their books, but we also need to ensure that they are equipped with the necessary skills to become effective readers. You have a very passionate educational staff here at Robla, some of which are already familiar with the science of reading and the benefits it can have for your students. So please look over SCOE's resolution and consider adopting some part of it, and I would like to thank you for your work that you're doing and for the opportunity to speak here today. I look forward to continuing to support your district in your literacy efforts. Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm sorry, wait, don't go away yet.
Yeah.
Can you say your name again?
Yeah, it's Rigo.
Rigo.
Yeah, Rigo Tovar.
Yeah, I was trying to. There you go. Okay. Just want to say thank you. I really appreciate this, and thank you for sharing that story with us. And I love that because one day a student is a protagonist or sees themselves as a protagonist. The next day they're writing their own books.
Yes.
So thank you very much.
Exactly. Yeah, no, exactly. We started this program by going to Glenwood first. There, I know you guys have some Spanish immersion programs, so we also provided some bilingual books at Glenwood as well. So we're working closely with your schools to make sure that these kids are, again, seeing themselves in these stories. So, yeah, thank you.
Okay, next we have April, and I'm going to have you say your last name.
Sure, that's fair. My last name is Javis, and I'm April Javis. Thank you for giving us some time, and thank you for acknowledging how amazing Rigo is with the work he's doing. So my name is April, and I am the Executive Director of the Sacramento Literacy Foundation. I've been here twice, I think, and we are the convener of the Sacramento Literacy Coalition. And the foundation's mission is really to help all kids read. Our goals are very centered on culturally relevant books in the hands and homes of our most underserved kids, and also advocating for evidence-based instruction rooted in science of reading research. So we're very motivated by the understanding that reading is the top equity skill in our country, and the crisis that we're in is solvable. That's important to say. It's solvable. So over the last 3 years, we've given 16,000 TK kindergarten, first and second graders books, and all of your elementary schools have benefited from that. We're pretty sure United Way is going to partner with us again to give the kids the books. Hopefully over time, kids have 15 to 20 books in their homes. Today, we want to bring your attention to SCOE's Science of Reading resolution, and we're asking that you adopt some version of that resolution for your district. It took Mississippi literally 3 years from implementing the Science of Reading to go from 22% to 85% in third grade reading rates. 3 years on implementation. Right now, this district is only at 21% of your third graders are reading at grade level. 21%. 1 in 5 kids can read at grade level. Not learning to read by the third grade really takes a child's right to learn away from them, because in the fourth grade, you're supposed to read to learn. So if you can't read to learn, then you're falling back in every single subject matter. We know that Robla educators have been working hard and have had some real successes in the truancy side, which is awesome. So, if a student isn't in the seat, they can't learn. We also know that your principals and teachers are super eager to support their students to learn to read. So we've provided you with some further information about the science of reading and a copy of the resolution itself to look at and keep it easy. One of the pieces we also provided is a little summary, an 8-step kind of blueprint of how a district might implement the science of reading. That's from Fulcrum and Kareem Weaver, who is kind of the star of The Right to Read, the movie. You probably know who he is, I would imagine. If we're to meet the goals of all kids reading, teacher training is right at the top of the list, then curriculum and contracted programming all will have to include evidence-based curriculum supports. It's time really for everybody to embrace what the science of reading has to offer students, which is greater equity, greater individual agency, and greater participation. Thank you.
Thank you. And next we have, is it Chana Pitt? Shauna Pitt.
Good evening. My name is Shauna Pitt. Thank you for having me today. Just kind of echoing some of the sentiments of friends that have shared already tonight. So my name is Shauna. Again, I'm the Assistant Superintendent of Educational Services at Sacramento County Office of Education. Wanted to share a little bit more. April and Rigo mentioned a resolution that our board recently passed. This action taken by our board was part of a larger effort, Sacramento County Reads, which is a countywide literacy initiative that we launched a couple of years ago, and many of your staff and teachers are participating in regular training that we're offering at the county office. But I wanted to share a bit more about the initiative itself. We really view this as a critical effort to address literacy challenges and ensure that every student in our county has the opportunity to become a proficient reader. So we know literacy is a cornerstone for success, and low reading skills are linked to higher unemployment rates, increased incarceration, and poor health outcomes. Alarmingly, recent data shows that over 56% of Sacramento County students are not reading at grade level. It's even more concerning when these disparities when you look closely at the student groups and their individual performance. Only 22% of foster youth, 20% of homeless students, 25% of African American students, 11% of English learners, and 16% of students with disabilities meet state standards in English language arts. The Sacramento County Reads Initiative aims to change these outcomes. We emphasize evidence-based reading instruction, early identification of struggling readers through universal screening, and tailored support for those who need it the most. But this initiative isn't just about schools, it's about families, educators, and community partners working together. The Sacramento County Reads, we're laying the foundation for a future where every child has the literacy skills they need to thrive in school, participate fully in our democracy, and lead fulfilling lives. Thank you so much for your time tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you, each and every one of you, for coming and sharing the importance of literacy, and we are right there with you. So,
Yep.
Thank you. Okay, is there anyone else who'd like to address the board on an item not on the agenda? No one online? Okay, so we're going to go ahead and move on to reports, and we're going to start with the Robla Education Foundation.
Nothing new tonight.
Okay, nothing to report. Excellent. We have Robla Teachers Association. We have CSCA and Superintendent's report.
Superintendent Chen is out, but I want to share two things, two items. We're celebrating Black History Month, and several activities are taking place at all our schools, including lunchtime concert series by Grammy-nominated music artist Fuge. Is back in the assemblies and including doing writing workshops. So we are very excited to have him back. The other item is posted all on our webpage, but we want to communicate a board meeting. Next Tuesday, February 13th, we're celebrating the Parent Empowerment Dinner, and Dr. Luke Wood, president from Sacramento State, will be our guest speaker. So again, it's February 13th, a week from today. And that's it.
All righty. All right, we're now going to go forward to board member reports. We'll start with Trustee Devine,
Nothing at this time.
Trustee Cardona,
I was available to participate in Taylor concert, lunch concert. It was really fun to see the kids and enjoying the music, and I learned about the instruments, how they play, what they create. It was really neat and unique to see and be part of it. And yesterday we was also part of the dinner with the SCOI Sacramento district, and it was really a learning experience too, with some of the advocacies. They was talking about projects and things, and money. Mm-hmm. Money's going to be allocated, and it was part of the. I'm grateful that I was there. Thank you.
okay. Trustee Hamilton Stark,
Nothing at this time.
okay. And Trustee Barnes.
As Trustee Cardona mentioned, we had the Sacramento County Office of Ed dinner yesterday, and I was able to attend with her and Trustee DeLuce. And it was a very enlightening conversation that definitely helped bridge the gap between the districts and the federal government, and show where they are connected and how they are connected. It was a very good dinner, and I love how educational they are. That's all I had.
Okay. Yeah, I also had an opportunity to attend the meeting out at SCOI with Sacramento County School Boards Association. And there was just a lot of the conversation was surrounding kind of some of the changes that might be happening coming from the federal side, coming from the federal government. And it was good to hear that there is likely to be less change than one would believe when one hears from the media. Also, we had a chance to talk a little bit about state budget and what appeared to be calming news, shall we say. So, but obviously we'll probably have conversations about that a little bit later. It was a really good discussion overall. One item that I did want to address was the board had received a communication regarding some of the concerns relating to a lot of the challenges or issues relating to immigration enforcement. And the concern was that we as the board had not taken some of the visible and vocal steps that some other municipalities around us have taken. Some have passed resolutions, some have made public statements, done press releases. Here, one of the things that we decided to do is we understand that our main focus for us is always to focus on our core mission, and that is to provide a safe environment for our children to learn. And as such, when we look at every situation, when we look at every issue, we look at, number one, how does it affect that core mission? And then number two, how can we do it in such a way where we can be unified as opposed to divided? And we all know that the issue of immigration is one that's hotly debated politically, and people are very passionate about it. So we've always decided on this particular issue when it comes to it to focus on what's our common ground. Number one, we want to make sure that our families know that their children, when they come to school, are safe, that they are protected. We want them to know and understand that they have rights and what those rights are. And we also want them to know that should they have concerns, where can they find access to resources that can help them to address those concerns. What we had decided to do, and we had done this previously in the past, and we did it again this time, was to send a letter out to all of our parents, communicating those very things, letting them know that, number one, your children are safe when they come to school, letting them know what the law says and what board policy is, and how we conduct ourselves in situations like this. And also to let them know, let our families know exactly what their rights are and where they can find more information or get more information should they need assistance. This is the sort of thing that we're here to do. And I apologize if folks out there were expecting us to make this big, grand political statement. That's not our jobs. That's not what we're here to do. We're here to educate kids. We're here to keep them safe while they are with us, and we pledge to do that. We will continue to do that. And I thank my board members for having the foresight and the wherewithal and the wisdom to focus on that and focus not on the things that can divide us politically, but focusing on the things that bring us together, and that is our kids. And I just want to give my fellow board members an opportunity. If there's anything that I've said that they would like to correct or clarify, to give them an opportunity to do that as well. Hearing none, we will move forward. All right, we're going to now move on to move on to presentations. Oh, no, wait, going back. We have public hearings. Yes, we have public hearings. Section 3A, public hearing. We have the Sunshine proposal for Robla School District to Robla Teachers Association for the 2025-26 bargaining negotiations. With that, this hearing is now open.
I move that we close the hearing.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Now we'll move on to B, Sunshine proposal from the Robla Teachers Association to Robla School District for the 2025-26 bargaining negotiations. This hearing is now officially open.
I move that we close the hearing.
It's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Now we're going to move on to presentations and information, and we're going to go with the 2024-25 Local Control Accountability LCAP Plan mid-year update.
Good evening, board members. Tonight I'm going to share with you one of the accountability compliance components of the LCAP, which is that we give the board an update on where we are with our LCAP before the February 28th date. So I'm going to briefly go over some things that are going on, but I also am going to say that it's brief because a lot of the LCAP we're going over as we go over dashboard data and throughout the year and the budget updates. These are all components also of the LCAP. So tonight I'm going to focus on those things that we have not touched on. Okay. So the budget overview for parents, there has been some slight changes since the adopted LCAP. You'll see those changes in numbers there on the screen. The biggest change being in the LCFF supplemental concentration grant funds that did decrease a little bit, as well as our total LCFF funds. When we look at the LCAP, this is the time of year also we start the process for development of our annual update and any modifications we may be making in our LCAP for the next 25-26 school year. So some of the things that we look at is we start out looking at those metrics. So again, a lot of the metrics, the data is completed because it's the dashboard data. So we are looking at developing our plans for next year and looking at this plan, looking at the 24 dashboard data and comparing it to the 23 dashboard data. So I'm going to share with you again some of the metrics that are also in the LCAP that are either in progress or not yet started. Okay, so our EL reclassification rate, though I don't have a final number, the numbers are looking very good. I think we are going to meet that desired outcome of 10% reclassified. I do want to reiterate that the desired outcomes are for the 3-year LCAP. Okay, so our baseline year was 2023. We're looking at 2024. But when you look at that desired outcome, is this going to be a pointer? No. Did I do something wrong here? And you look at that desired outcome, I gotta go through magic wand it. What did I do, Elliot? Component, that's looking at the 27. There we go. Thank you. 27 outcomes, okay? FitnessGram data, that is our 5th grade students taking a fitness test. We are always looking for 100% participation rate, and we had a 91.4% participation rate, so slightly down from the prior year. Phonics survey, that is our local survey, our local assessment measure, benchmark measurement. And as you can see, the data here for mid-year is try 1. So that's after our first trimester of this school year, which ended in November. You can see where we are with our numbers. The phonics survey is given to K and to 1st grade. And our numbers are looking like they're moving in the right direction there. Grade 2 through 6 take the STAR assessment. And currently we are at 38% met or exceeded at trimester 1, which though it's far from our desired outcome for 26-27, we are above our baseline metric of 32.2. Additional metrics under the other goal areas. So goal 2 has to do with school climate. Looking at our attendance is up from our baseline by 2.1.6%. Our school climate survey is currently in the process of being administered. We just completed the parent survey as well as the staff surveys. So that data was just collected. And in March, we'll be conducting the school climate survey for all the students. That survey is given to 3 through 6th grade students. So that data is in process. We have a new goal in our LCAP, which is our differentiated assistance goal. We had been identified for suspension rates. We have been removed from that classification. And then we were also identified for our chronic absenteeism rates for African American students and students with disabilities. And we've already discussed how we've had some issues with our chronic absenteeism, the way our data was being reported. So African American students were removed because we saw enough growth even in the issues with the data. But our students with disabilities continue to be identified for differentiated assistance under chronic absenteeism, as well as academics. So we are in differentiated assistance for this school year as well, but with this new student group and LTELs. Okay. The other thing we look at is the actual actions that we have in the LCAP and the expenditures going with those actions. So Mr. Castillo goes over the expenditure reports with his updates. So I'm going to talk more about the actions and where we are in terms of those being in progress or completed or not yet started. So most of the actions are happening as we speak. They start day 1 and they go all the way through the year. But there are a few actions that we have not yet started and that are still kind of in progress because of some updates. So 2.1 is our student mentor program. This was an item that was added to the LCAP, I believe, right before COVID, and where we had a plan that we wanted to have classified management be mentors for our students. We have not been able to get that off the ground because there needs to be a lot of training in that process. We don't want to just, throw it out there without having training for our staff in order for that to happen. So that has not yet started. Our school safety plans, though they are in place, they're being updated with the new building, and there has to be some changes because of the new buildings and the construction that's happened at the school sites. So those are in progress. Our parent educational opportunities, we're really fortunate to have our SCOE clinicians. They've been offering some parent activities in the evening and in the mornings at schools. And actually today I spent the day at CABE, California Association for Bilingual Education, a regional conference, a one-day conference for parents and paraeducators. We had 9 parents attend the conference with 11 staff members, most of them paraeducators except myself, so instructional assistants or our bilingual community outreach assistants. And it was a great day. They had a lot of really good information for the parents and for the paraeducators, and it was just a great opportunity for us to bond and get to know each other. Transportation provided a bus for us, so all the parents could go, and school staff helped support it by allowing some of the students to come in early and be there with them until school opened for them to be at their regular time, so we could get off in time to get to the conference on time. So it's really great. So we're having a lot more opportunities for our parent education this year, which is great to know. Parent empowerment dinners are still in progress. Our adult English classes says in progress, not started. So since the beginning of the school year, we have Chromebooks available for our parents, and we've been advertising. They can come into the libraries, they can use those Chromebooks. There are programs offered through the Sac County Office of Ed, as well as programs that we have purchased for parents to actually learn English through an online program. That part is in progress, has been going. We haven't had a lot of response for parents to come in and utilize that resource. We want to offer where we actually have a teacher instructor. And that's the part that I'm looking for when the rains kind of let up a little bit in the spring, like next month, start advertising to see if I can get some teachers interested in actually providing, in-person class for the parents.
In regards to the software, is it possible to be able to perhaps provide parents with a login so that they could perhaps access it from their home or even from their phone to be able to?
Yes, actually. So much of the programs, one of the programs that we offer, they would have to have a login through us. But USA Learns is offered online free. We have also advertised through the Sacramento County Libraries that there are programs that they can log on from home. So we've been advertising all these, online resources for parents. We just haven't had that in-person class.
Got it. Okay.
Related to that, can you tell me a little bit about what's required for a login?
I'm sorry?
Can you tell us a little bit about what's required for a login?
What's required for a login depends on the program. So most of them, you just put in an email address and make yourself a password. So some of the programs that we have, for example, we've shared with parents something called the Duolingo, which I'm sure you've heard that Duolingo actually has a school account that if we send the invite through, for example, one of our EL teachers, she has created a school account, then the parent doesn't have ads. They can actually do the program without ads in it. If they just do it on their own and just log in with an email address and create a password, then they're going to get ads as they do that program. USA Learns as well, I think, again, it's just, I think almost all of them are just put in an email address. And then Lexia English is one that parents can also use, but it's really more directed towards their kids. So what we generally try to do is that's the one that we try to send home with our newcomers. So we let parents know, hey, if you want to do this program too, you can do it with your child. But it's really more directed towards children, but parents, we can log parents in. And in that case, we would have to create that for them. That's the only one that we would have to create the password.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. And again, suspension rates, because the school year's still going, so that's in progress. So that's where we are in terms of where we are with our LCAP right now. Our next steps are that we're going to, as I said, begin that process of reviewing the LCAP, writing our annual update, and preparing our 25-26 LCAP for the board. That process starts right now. We're in the process of doing an infographic that we'll share out as we've done in prior years about this time of year. They just give some highlights of the LCAP. And then our PAC DLAC meeting on March 18th, we'll share that infographic in there. Some of this information that I shared with you here tonight, as well as start that process of gathering input from our educational partners, our parents, and our community members towards, what we're looking for towards next school year. Okay. And that's where too, we'd let them know if, kind of where we are with our budget. Are we going to be able to maintain? We get their input in terms of what programs do you feel have been really highly impactful? What would you like to see? And last year, but the way I did it is I did charts, and they would put green, yellow, and red stickers on things, and then had comment sections. And that's how we collected the data. The school sites then do that after my meeting. They also do that with staff at their school sites and with their parents at their school site council meetings and their ELAC meetings as well. I believe that's it.
Any questions or comments?
Question. You said you were updating, it was action 2.4, safety plans, school safety plans, you're updating those. Can you give details about how you're updating the safety plans?
I'm going to defer to Ramon Fajardo because he has been working with the principals on that process.
We have to update those plans annually. That's sort of the plan is like the board adopt the plan. It has to be reviewed annually for things to change, like the buildings or any new things that are happening within the district. And that's what is included here. It's something that we need to do on an annual basis. And the consistent is actually review part of the audit. That's the safety plan was reviewed during the year.
So, for example, what you had mentioned was like changes in facilities obviously change the safety plan.
Mm-hmm. Right. We have to might have to change some exit routes, take into account we have some 2-story buildings, that type of thing. Mm-hmm.
Or we may add technology that would perhaps change how we would wind up doing things as well.
That is a great example, and actually we are doing that, updates on that.
Okay.
I have a quick question. I don't know if we're allowed to do this. Can we drop the links of those programs in our YouTube video? Like in the comments? Okay. That would be great. So that way if people are going through it, they can see it and just click on it for the English learning.
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Mr. Fajardo just remind me, we have done a lot with our cameras. That's something that's something pretty new technology. So that's. Mm-hmm.
Any additional questions or comments? Thank you so much.
As always,
Wait.
thank you.
Thank you.
All right.
Always so thorough.
We're going to move on now to recognition, and we're going to have we have resolution 918, recognition of Black History Month, and I'll go ahead and I'll start the reading of it. Whereas Black and African American history is rich, inspiring, and integral to the story of the United States of America, where characters contributed to the development of the nation in ways recorded and in ways unrecorded, and where a centuries-long struggle for equality found its crescendo in a thunderous triumph with the Civil Rights Act of 1964, which was not only a positive and necessary reconciliation in our legislative strata, but also for the people a historic symbol of rebirth, a powerful, true expression of ideals in this nation that believes in freedom and liberty for all the people. And
whereas the Robla School District recognizes that each student needs an opportunity to understand the common humanity underlying all people, to develop pride in his or her own identity and heritage, and to understand, respect, and accept the identity and heritage of others.
Whereas the History Social Science Framework for California Public Schools, kindergarten through grade 12, states appropriately that the history curriculum of community, state, region, nation, and world must reflect the experiences of men and women and of different racial, religious, and ethnic groups, and must be integrated at every
Whereas,
level, sorry.
whereas not only during this month of February, but throughout the remainder of this year, it's important that Robla School District seek to understand how to truthfully and holistically address African American disparities in educational outcome and diversity, hiring in order to move toward greater equality in education system and the larger community.
Therefore, be it resolved that the Robla School District hereby issues this resolution in honor and recognition of February 2025 as Black History Month and encourages all educators to commemorate the occasion with appropriate instructional activities.
Passed and adopted by the governing board of the Robla School District on the 6th day of February 2025. And with that, I will entertain a motion to approve.
So move.
Second?
Okay, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. And now we'll move on to action items. Action item A, approve sunshine proposal from Robla School District to Robla Teachers Association for the 2025-2026 bargaining negotiations.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Would you like to discuss?
Yes, just a few quick comments, if I may, and I'll actually take A and B together since they're closely linked and related. But this is just the start of our negotiations conversations with the Robla Teachers Association, and we're getting close to also starting to open those conversations with CSEA, or California School Employees Association, for our classified group. And just to help the board understand the number of articles that are open, every 3 years, we go through a rotating cycle of having the entire contract open, which means either party can select every article if we choose to. But as you can see, RTA has opened 15 articles and we have opened 7. 6 of ours overlap with theirs, so I have a feeling we have some common things to have a conversation about in our discussion. There are a total of 34 articles in the RTA contract, so a little less than half will be open. We will be having those discussions while we focus our core conversation on student academic achievement, social emotional support for students, and safety for students and staff alike, while balancing that with providing a positive work environment and working conditions for our teams with RTA and CSEA.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All's in favor.
Do we need to move to add them together, or can we just vote like that?
At this point, we can just go ahead and do them separately.
Mhm.
Okay. Any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All's in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item B, approve sunshine proposal from Robla Teachers Association to Robla School District for the 2025-26 bargaining negotiations.
So move.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Any discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item C, approve additional irrigation repairs at Robla Elementary School.
So moved.
Second?
Moved and seconded. Any discussion?
Yes, during the work to fix Robla Elementary School fields, it was determined that more irrigation enhancements were needed. This is funded through the EOLOP to improve outdoor learning environments.
Any additional discussion or debate?
This is the big field right behind us, correct? The
Yeah.
whole thing?
Yes,
Awesome.
yeah,
Thank you.
it's going to be beautiful.
Any additional discussion or debate?
No.
Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item D, approve contract with Recreation Project Services, Inc. to create new playgrounds, pit locations, and concrete curbs for Bell Avenue Elementary School, Glenwood Elementary School, Taylor Elementary School, and add A.B. Rock subbase for Robla Elementary School.
So move.
Second?
Been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Again, this is additional work that's needed to improve our playgrounds. This is also funded through the EOLOP programs.
Any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item E, approve installation of new sprinklers, controllers, and irrigation lines to existing booster pump and landscape sod at Bell Avenue Preschool by Sains Landscape Construction Company.
Yeah,
moved.
this, okay, go ahead.
It's been moved and seconded.
Yeah, this scope of work is part of the Bell Avenue PKTK project, but we decided to do it outside so we don't add additional cost to the project, and we had to play the market, so we deal direct contract. The current project includes the buildings, but it not includes the outside linear space like grass or TK in case a lot of the lending happens outside. So we want to create an environment as well. And again, we're using some ELOP funds to cover this work.
Any additional discussion or debate?
I just want to clarify one thing. So to C and E are pretty similar, just at different schools, correct? Or am I-
Um,
oh, my bad. Sorry. I was thinking irrigation like sprinklers.
yeah,
Thank you. I was like, why is the price so different?
yeah.
Any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item F, approve 2024-25 service agreement with Marzano Resources.
So moved.
Second.
Moved and seconded. Discussion?
Mr. Penman will discuss that.
Good evening, board members and audience. We'd like to bring in a consultant to work with us on our instructional model to help us improve or build upon it or make some changes to it. The intent of this work is to shift instruction in the classroom with research-based instructional practices that help enhance student achievement and success. There's two major points here. One is that we need coherence in our district, which means that we need everybody to be doing the same research practices across the board, not at some schools, not at some classrooms, across all of our district. The second piece is that we have a contingency of new teachers all across our district now. They would benefit from this type of work with talking about strategies that they need in the classrooms for their instruction. And so that we're hoping to move forward with those discussions and future work as a possibility as far as next year goes.
Any discussion or debate?
I just have a question. Thinking about this contractor, I don't know, have y'all worked with this company before? Have you worked with other districts that have worked with this company before?
We know of other districts that have worked with these people. Marzano is extremely, he's very well known in the business of education. He's been in it for 50 years. He has written 40 books. He has been a speaker, a trainer, and so many districts have utilized them for this exact purpose. And it is something that is necessary for us at this point in time, especially with the amount of new teachers that we have out there. And honestly, with the scores the way they are, we need to do that tier 1 instruction and get that under the professional learning and getting the supports for the new principals with this kind of training.
And so will the training be focused on like instructional methods in general, or will it focus on like topics?
It is on instructional practices in all the areas, kind of from the state standards for the teaching profession. It's a very vast amount of strategies, and they have 5 different areas. And there's pretty much the book that they gave us to look at had about 333 strategies. Now that is very encompassing, and that's a lot. So we are going to be very thoughtful about what areas that we target in there.
How
There's
long?
still a lot of work that needs to be done. This is just the conversations just started.
How long will they work with the staff? Like one day a week?
That still needs to be discussed as well. I can't move forward with all of this planning because the board needs to approve the first step to this piece.
Okay.
But we are being very thoughtful already. We have ideas, but I don't want to get ahead of, we need the board to say, yes, this is okay to move forward with.
Okay.
Any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item G, approve memorandum of understanding for Sacramento Region 3 Title I nonprofit private school consortium for school years 2025-26 and 26-27.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Miss Lyon would say a few words about it.
Yes, so federal dollars follow the students. So any students that we have in the Robla School District that are resident students of ours that are in a nonprofit private school, the funds are supposed to follow those students to support those students. So what this MOU is, what this consortium is that there's a lot of work involved in trying to find those students, identify if they qualify, because we are school-wide programs, they qualify. And then to work with those different nonprofit schools to come up with those supplemental services. So very much like in our district where we provide additional supplemental services with the Title I dollars, we're trying to do the same thing outside. And we work with the 6 other surrounding districts to kind of try to bring that workload down a little bit for each of us, because otherwise San Juan, Twin Rivers, Folsom Cordova, Robla, Gulf, we're all reaching out to one school, and I have 1 student there, and they have 3 students there. So the way that this works is the schools that are within our boundaries, I work with that school, and I help all the kids that would fall under any of those districts, and I personally work with that school. They, in turn, do the same thing for any kids that are ours that are inside their district in an NPS school. We've had this in place. This is, I think, our 3rd or 4th 3-year contract that we are doing with the districts.
How many private schools are in our district?
We have 1.
Okay.
Yes.
I could only think of one.
Hey, any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item H, approve annual transportation plan update for 2024, 2025, 2025 and 2026, and 2026, 2027.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussions?
Yes, it's in order to receive funding and adopted transportation plans must be submitted and approved by the board. We started to doing this in 2023. This is the 3rd year. The first year required a lot of input from all the stakeholders, including from the transportation agencies outside. The updates, they don't require input from outside. Yes, but the board has to approve it in order for us to receive funding.
Any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Item I, approve leaseback construction services agreement with McGuire and Hester for the new preschool transitional kindergarten and kindergarten classrooms at Main Avenue Elementary School project.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved and seconded. Discussion?
Yeah, but just we interview 7 companies. This contract is when we very clear is for the pre-construction services, and once DSA approves the drawings, we will get a receiving amendment, and we will be back to the board to approve the GMP for the whole project.
Okay. Any additional discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. Section 7, board member requests for future agenda items or reports. Trustee Devine.
Nothing at this time, but don't you need to bring up the date change?
I'll do that when we get to the end.
So nothing at this time.
Trustee Cardona.
Nothing in this time.
Trustee Hamilton Starks.
I want to again acknowledge everybody who has reported their concerns with the Helen After School program. And I just wanted to make sure that this is added to the agenda for discussion for our next board meeting.
Trustee Barnes.
Nothing.
Okay. I did have one item due to scheduling conflict. I wanted to request, or I wanted to offer a motion to to move the board meeting, which is scheduled for the 20th of this month, to the 27th of this month. So with that, I will entertain a motion to do so. To that effect.
So moved.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion or debate? Hearing none, we'll move forward to a vote. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries unanimously. And that now brings us to our adjournment. Thank you so very much, all of those of you who are here and those of you who are watching online. Thank you so much.